Tonight, was President Trump's alleged nonsensical rant about Elton John's records an actual message to everyone here on the boards? And did you guys help me figure out who the gentleman in this picture is? Hi, I'm Craig, and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who don't know, every one of these episodes starts out the exact same way. I say thank you to every one of the subscribers because there's always new subscribers, and you guys don't even realize how important you are to this channel. Without you guys, this channel wouldn't work. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please come here to the landing page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as these videos get posted, you'll be notified, because as soon as information is made available to me, I make it available to you. Now, we got a lot to cover tonight. Here, what we're going to talk about first is I asked for help last episode. If you guys want to see the last episode and get caught up, I encourage you to go watch this one here. I've basically asked for you guys to help me figure out one of the Q posts, but if you guys want to get more information on where we're at up to now, these two episodes cover a lot of what was going on with the latest breaking information from the Seth Rich investigation, where witnesses are coming forward, and this video and others kind of take you back to the latest Q post. It's been a while, and we're still waiting for new Q, but this is where we've been left off, and we have so much to cover. It doesn't stop. The news and information that Q has helped us uncover doesn't stop just because Q stops posting. There is so much information there. So if you guys stick around, we're going to talk about how you guys helped figure out who was in that picture possibly. And if you guys want to get caught up, go watch these. And if you're scratching your head going, what's Q? Watch this video. It's going to basically tell you a lot about Q, and especially if you just want to get involved and monitor, and you know what Q is, but you want to figure out how to go on 8chan and where to go and what the rules are kind of. If you want to get all that information, come here and watch this video and share that with your friends, because it's like a red pill in and of itself. So thank you to everybody who does that. Now, we're still waiting. We haven't really made any progress yet as far as Q posts, but like I said, the news keeps coming, and we're going to keep up with it, and we have a lot to cover tonight here. We're going to talk about an incredible breakdown by Serial Brain later, and we're going to talk about Stormy Daniels being arrested. This is going to be a new story, I'm sure. Arrested at a strip club doing some kind of who knows what, probably just some awful explicit stuff that's just disgusting. But moving into what we're talking about here tonight, the first thing I want to talk about is this picture. I asked you guys last episode, who is this guy? It's one of the things I couldn't figure out. You look back at the latest Q post, and I'm trying to put together, what does this plane have to do with this person in China and in Hong Kong, apparently? And somebody told me, look, you didn't know it's Joel Getz. And I'm like, I don't know who this person is. I don't know, and I still don't know that that's him. This person is them. But here's a picture of Joel Getz. And he looks pretty similar to the person pictured in that picture. And what's significant about this individual? Well, an ex-Clinton Foundation official who's been tied to that Chinese kindergarten embroiled in bizarre sexual abuse scandal. Now, if you guys want to get more information on that, I encourage you to go watch China Uncensored. The host over there, Chris Chappell, he's a great guy, smart as could be, does great work on China. And what they've uncovered in that series over there is they broke this story right when it came out about a school in China, and that was linked to a bunch of other schools where there were allegations made that the kids were being drugged and made to participate in these weird scenarios where they would be, naked with other grown men, and they would be naked as well. It's just really weird, disturbing, and sick things that is beyond me as far as what these people are thinking, but it is certainly sick and evil if it is true. Now, if you want to get more information on that, go check out China Uncensored. They have a whole show on that, and the episode is probably somewhere in their catalog and index. I don't know exactly where, but what it talks about basically is this school. So he was the head of a Beijing kindergarten, or he was the independent director at a company which operates private schools in China, and he found himself in the middle of this weird thing where parents were having their kids come home and tell them that their kids had been involved in some kind of really sick and disturbing experiments where they were being given drugs and they were given pills and weird drinks, and told that the pills were their little secrets, and they were being forced to participate in these weird uh, I don't know, classes, or I don't know how you categorize it, but sessions where they're, taking their clothes off and standing with other naked people. It's just disturbing and sick, right? But somebody pointed out to me that looks very much like him. And I guess the basic connection would be that we're pointing out that we know who they are, we see them, and this could be connected to something much bigger and much broader. But right now, there's only speculation to go off of. So we don't have too much to really report here, other than to say this obviously warrants further investigation. It's completely sick and disturbing, and that's kind of where I'll have to leave it for now. I'm sure you guys will give me more information in the comments, and that we'll continue to develop this story. And thank you to everybody who told me this. It wasn't just one person; it was probably dozens at this point. And I appreciate you guys keeping me up to date on it. So what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, this is the big, big, big story over here on the Great Awakening thread over on Reddit. Serial Brain. This guy or girl, I don't know who it is, but let me just say, they post and have these incredible breakdowns, and people really doubt and hate on Serial Brain because I think they're just doing their civic duty, their patriotic duty, just like I am doing here. It's literally to spread the word. You have this inside of you to get the word of the truth out. Now, my motivations are probably more tilted in bringing you God's word because I really want you all to have that faith and to know what the glory of God is and all the blessings that come with it. But I can tell you right now, reading Serial Brain 2, they are obviously godly. They obviously, if it's a man, I'm just going to say it in that sense. He's a man of God, and it's really profound to share all of these ideas with so many different people. We're going to read through this post. What it basically breaks down is we talked about Serial Brain 2 in this last video here. From a few days ago, we covered it in this video right here, where it's talking about trolling is fun. And we break down Serial Brain 2's post about the iPhone picture right here. Basically, all the stuff that we got from Q, in these latest few posts about having the cup holder in the reflection of the Twitter phone, which is an iPhone, all the symbolism that goes into that. And if you guys want to get that full info, I encourage you to come back here and watch this video because it's going to fill you on all that. But with that knowledge in mind, for those of you who've been following this for a while, I want to just go ahead and talk about this latest post from Serial Brain because it is fascinating and it's just incredible, and I really appreciate his work, and I think we should highlight it as being some of the best work out there when it comes to breaking down these posts. And it's starting out here just talking about why he does it and what the confirmations were in the last post, and we're going to go through them. But this is just a fascinating breakdown. So you guys, here we go. So we're going to start right here at the top, and this is just incredible. And the post is called "Trump has just validated Q at the Great Falls rally and gave us the solution to Q1675. Let that sink in. Q1675, controversial post. I gave you in my previous post the solution to the riddle. I have seen many other attempts which I respect because I have found some of the ideas to be very interesting and clever, but I must defend the truth. I have not seen any other solution addressing all of the following issues at the same time in one condensed, meaningful, and backed with known open source facts, not conjectures explanation. Why Air Force One? Why Reflection? Why Apple? Why Saudi Arabia? Why the truth is behind you? Why Independence Day? Why a mug holder? The solution I presented addressed all these issues at once, and today, for the purpose of sharing how the reasoning is hierarchized. I'm sorry, that's a tough word. All right, I will address the Twitter phone component. It is a piece of the puzzle elegantly joining the others because Prince Al-Walid is a major Twitter shareholder. Do you see it? Just the information Twitter plus Apple could have been triangulated and lead to Prince Al-Walid and resolve Saudi Arabia in Q1681, but it would have been a weaker link than getting to him through the mug. Why? Because the probability of one being a shareholder in Apple and Twitter, including just $1, is higher than triple random emphasis on mug. Q Prince Al Walid and Al Jazeera using the coupled tweeter phone Apple logo was a hint to activate our intuition but not to use it in the reasoning because the mug clue would have been lost or would have then lost its relevance. Look how Q subtly dismisses the tweeter phone in the reasoning. Q1677. Who would have thought the Twitter phone could be so useful? This is pure delectation for the mind. The mug route was therefore the route Q preferred. Otherwise, he would have limited the riddle to the triangulation of Apple and Twitter to get to the prince, which he did not. The reason is the mug brings the idea of detention, makes the riddle self-sufficient, and does not require us to conjecture that Q wanted us to include it in our reasoning. This detention component is crucial because if it is removed, we don't get to the DC politicians being freed and therefore don't get to Q1681. Today, as patriots, we celebrate our freedom. I would like to also give some help to those who struggle with me taking the musical note direction to understand 123.47. I said it in the comment section, but I'll also share it here. Using musical frequencies for ciphered messages is actually an old, robust, tested, and common practice. It is still used today and the subject of current advanced academic and industrial research. Here are some links for those who would like to go further, and that gives you a bunch of links to look up information about how that all works. It's talking about how 123.47 is a tonal frequency that matches to a musical note that's a B2, right? Okay. Now, Q1226, learn our comms Q. I am walking you through all these details so you know the thought process Q is expecting from us and how I discipline and constrain myself when solving his riddles. These are the tools through which you assess the quality of a solution. You first need to verify all the claims are backed with verifiable information. Then you need to verify all the clues are used in a flawless manner to render the hidden message. I have summarized the solution of the riddle in the following picture. Read it clockwise. Now, this kind of summarizes what we went over in that last video. So, like I said, if you guys want to get caught up, I encourage you to go watch this video. But this is how he basically summarizes it for us. What happened here? On July 3rd, 2017, we had the incident with the NASDAQ, right? We had this big crash. All the stocks went down 666 points. I think it closed it down. And all the main leaders, Apple, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, went to 123.47, right? Serial Brain put together that 123.47 in the tonal frequency range and how it would relate to pitches and notes would equal a B2, right? And the B2 is a military aircraft. It uses reflection technology. So the waves come and they bounce off the jet, or they bounce off the plane to make a smaller profile, the profile the size of a bird. It's been suggested that the globalists and them have these crafts up in the air that rogue crafts they could use, in fact, to start a war if they wanted to. Talking about a military aircraft, looking at Air Force One, which is where we got the picture from Q of President Trump and the reflection off of the iPhone. Then it talks about Prince Al Walid taking a bite out of Apple, as he is one of the huge investors in both Apple and Twitter. So, guys, the solution of the riddle: the bad actors who were using their wealth to pervert our political infrastructure and made America subservient to foreign interests have been neutralized. We have regained our true independence. So that was what all the Independence Day was about, right? This is all from July 3rd. He comes out, he has his little mug, it's going to destroy us, and he signals to all of his friends with his mug about our thing, and then we send a message back. It's all very, very crazy, the symbolism that goes on here. It's so incredible, it's almost unbelievable. But if you put it all together, it makes perfect sense, which is why since the first time I started reading Serial Brain, I've pretty much really thought that their work has been quite profound, and some of the best code breaking there is out there when it comes to getting to the real bottom of all these issues. So if you guys want to take this, I encourage you to just take that as it is. Now it says, now I would like to show you something else. It's fascinating. Notice I have posted my solution to the riddle on Thursday, July 5th at 15:18 Eastern. At 1800 Eastern, Trump hosted the MAGA rally at the Four Seasons Arena in Great Falls, Montana. And it gives a link to the full show. It says, reporting about the rally, Mockingbird Media, Trump mocks Trump and claims that in the middle of the speech, he suddenly went nonsensical talking about musical instruments, Elton John, etc. Now here's a clip that he gives us of all the headlines, right? Fascinating. I like where we're going here. Now, it says, it says, reporting about the rally, Mockingbird Media mocks Trump and claims, here we go. We'll listen to it. Excuse me.
Never say I'm a great speaker. Why the hell do so many people come? Why does... I don't think it's true. Why do they... Why? Why do they come? Gotta be something. I guess they like my policy. Maybe you like policy. No, it's true. Have you ever noticed? You never hear that. You never hear that. You never hear it. I mean, there's got to be a reason. I have broken more Elton John records. He seems to have a lot of records. And by the way, I don't have a musical instrument. I don't have a guitar or an organ. No organ. Elton has an organ. And lots of other people helping. No, we've broken a lot of records. We've broken virtually every record because, look, I only need this space. They need much more room. For basketball, for hockey, for all the sports, they need a lot of room. We don't need it. We have people in that space. So we break all these records. But really, we do it without, the musical instruments. This is the only musical, the mouth. And hopefully the brain attached to the mouth, right? The brain, more important than the mouth, is the brain. The brain is much more important. But do you ever notice, do you ever hear something? They say, we had a case last week.
So we listen to the link. Now it says, here's the transcript of what Trump said, and it gives you a copy of the transcript. It says, then the next day, this happens and makes the headlines. And it gives you here this put together of all these different headlines, right? The headlines detailing that President Trump plans to give Kim Jong-un a copy of Elton John's Rocket Man album, which in and of itself is amazing. But going forward, it says, pause. Do you see it? Do you realize what just happened? We'll show you. When you activate the option Show Images, here's a screenshot of my previous post, the solution of the riddle. So it'll give you this post to him talking about the connection between 123.47 and B2 and how it all kind of correlates, right? Okay, so take that, right? And we're going to go back here and it says, now let's put Trump's nonsensical speech next to the screenshot and analyze. This is what we get. So it actually gives you all these correlations, right? First, you have the correlation of the guitar here and the piano, which is referred to by President Trump as an organ. And in that, you can take away a few things. I mean, you could obviously take away off the front that they're the same scales. And if you work inside those same scales, you have the same set of notes, and that those notes could delineate a message that's being sent. Now, what it's saying here is very interesting because it says we've broken virtually every record. I mean, that has to be said for what we're doing here together. But then it talks about musical instruments, and it says brain 4 times. So its brain is repeated many times there. So that's what you're supposed to take away from that. Now it says, what do you think? Mockingbird Media is actually right. This part of Trump's speech is nonsensical, but only for those who are not part of the conversation. Do you see? He is talking to us. Trump is having a Kofifi moment and is talking to us live on national television. You tell me, what are the odds a few hours after a post by a guy named CerealBrain2 talking about Trump, musical notes, B2, pictures of a keyboard and guitar scale, Trump randomly picks each of these items in the same minute and at the end repeats brain serially? Coincidence? If you think it is, then what is your explanation? How can it make sense? When I saw this, I said to myself, I can't write about this. I'll just keep it to myself. Just like I kept to myself other things. Then I remembered this. Q920. How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? Wait until you learn who has been talking to you here. It dawned on me, and there would be actually a day when these things will be disclosed clearly. So the stage has to be set progressively. Q link to our sub. It meant he was reading us. He may be in the comment section sometimes. Who knows? We were all happy and surprised. What if that was just a first step? If we are to get to Q920, other things need to be happening in between, and we should not be surprised Trump talks to us directly like he did at the rally. When I got here, I said to myself, okay, let's give it 24 hours. If Q does not react, I will post up all about this. It says, then the next day, Trump doubled down with Elton John CD. He asked Pompeo to give Kim Jong-un, for he was bringing North Korea to the musical note equation, just like I linked the North Korean ICBM test that occurred the day of the B-2 glitch. It was like he was saying to us, hey guys, I spoke about the musical notes, the guitar, the organ, and the brain at the rally. Now I give you North Korea. Now it says Q1283, open your eyes, calm's good. Q. Now, you know I always have the icing on the cake, icing for the cake. Do you want it? Here, what do you think Trump said, or why do you think Trump said organ instead of piano? When you look at the picture in my post, even though they are both keyboards and are similar, the first instrument that naturally comes to mind when you see keyboard will be a piano, not an organ, right? Well, here's the reason. According to the Guardian article, the most iconic and greatest of all organs is the Hammond. And guess what? They have a model called the B2. All right. Now, what does the Hammond refer to? For those of you who don't know, it refers back to the Hammond pardon that was just given out by President Trump. And what was he pardoning these individuals for? Well, as far as I've put together by reading the story briefly, is that it was basically they were tending to their lands. They have a lot of land up in Oregon, and they accidentally may have set a fire. And in doing so, they became the target of a federal prosecution that aimed to put these upstanding members of the community in jail. And it would seem that it was a way to put their land at risk, because the land is what is being sought after most by the government. So let me just put it out there. President Trump pardoning the Hammonds is a big deal. And what Serial Brain 2, who I believe put this graphic together, is saying is that they have actually engineered ways to keep the Hammond's name out of the news, because they don't want this story to take off, because it would be basically a nod and a wink to everybody here on the QAnon boards who's been putting or fighting to get this information known for so long that it becomes quite burdensome for us. But it's not a burden when you're telling the truth and spreading God's word. Never can it be a burden. So that's what we have right here. That's the connection that Serial Brain is pulling together. And it says Q507. We chose this board for a very specific reason. We believe in you, Q. So look, this is Serial Brain 2's post, and I wanted to bring it to you. What I thought was interesting about this is because is basically that when I listen to Serial Brain 2 break these posts down, I really have an appreciation for his attention to detail. Because for me, in the aggregate, I have to get this information out all the time, and I don't just report on Q posts, I report on the news, and I report on everything that's going on in the world. But to have somebody like Serial Brain who is doing the hard work of breaking down each one of these posts in detail, it's really a great thing to kind of have, a great tool. And they do it for free. They do it because they're a patriot. And I'd like to think that I do the same thing, but I do get paid. That's just an admission I'm willing to make. But I do basically do it because I love my country and I love God and I want to get this message out there. I've been blessed to give you guys this information, and I want you guys to share it with one another. So thank you to everybody, and thank you to Serial Brain 2 especially. It's people like him and others who are invaluable, priceless in this fight against the evil. So we definitely have to make that recognition. Now, here's a story that's coming out of CNBC now, talking about Stormy Daniels being arrested while performing at a strip club in Ohio, and her Michael Avenatti, her attorney, has already started whatever kind of storm that's going to happen there. I don't know if this is another distraction, but I can tell you right now, this woman is just disgusting to me personally. I'm a man of God. I can't imagine what a woman would be doing in a strip club that could get her arrested. But whatever it was, it must have been pretty bad, because they're not even writing about it yet. And this is a story that broke about an hour ago, or a few hours ago, I guess, from where we started. But listen, this is crazy, and this just goes to show these people's character. They want to have their abortions. They want to kill babies. They want to, and I'm not talking about her specifically. I'm just saying in general, the left, the liberals. That I've seen compilations of these people who are just brainwashed to the point of they want to do the harm. They want to have Antifa. They want to shut down free speech. They want to shut down your right to participate in the public sphere if you have a differing political opinion. These things are antithetical to what is the American Republic that I know, and I hope that we all stand together on that. Now, also I want to talk about President Trump. Now, tomorrow, this is kind of a teaser for tomorrow, guys. I'm going to be putting together a video based on what happens in the hearing between Peter Strzok and the open hearing on Capitol Hill with the committees. But it says, here's the last few tweets from President Trump as he leaves NATO. It says, as I head out to a very important NATO meeting, I see that FBI lover agent Lisa Page is dodging a subpoena and is refusing to show up and testify. What can she possibly say about her statements and lies? So much corruption on the other side. Where is the Attorney General? Another little tongue-in-cheek play with Jeff Sessions there. It says, presidents have been trying unsuccessfully for years. That goes into NATO. But I thought that was the continuation of the post. But no. This continues to go on to say that Germany is going to end up paying their fair share. They're going to bump it up from 2% to 4%, and everybody's going to have to pay their fair share if they want to get in on NATO and have the protection that is due to them that through the agreement. The agreement's only as good as the people who paid it to keep that agreement going. So that's what President Trump's saying. But tomorrow we have a big teaser. We're going to learn more about Peter Strzok and everything that he has done. So you guys stay tuned for that one. We're going to bring it to you as it comes and is made available. Now, I want to say thank you all for watching. In order to support this channel, some of the best ways I'm going to go as follow. If you want to support the channel in the best and easiest way, it's free to you. It costs you guys nothing. If you have not hit that subscribe button, come here to the land page, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That way, as soon as these videos get posted, you'll be notified. Now, the second best way is to scroll down at the end of this video and leave your thoughts, theories, and insights in the comments, because this whole episode started with us using your comments and your research to basically answer a question that we had. So who was the guy in the picture? Maybe it's Joel Getz. We don't know. But if you guys go down and leave your thoughts and theories in the comments, we try to have our own QAnon research board where we don't just talk about the Q posts. We talk about what's going on with the news and how that all correlates to one another in culture, society, politics, whatever. So if you guys want to leave your thoughts and theories, even if you can't comment, scroll down and read through the comments. I guarantee you're going to learn something you didn't know. Now, if you're trying to support the channel in another way, come over here to Twitter, right? You can find me on Twitter at Justin_formed. Now, this is cool because if you guys come over here and follow me, all my videos, when they get posted to YouTube, if you guys have problems with the notifications, which a lot of people tell me they do, my videos are automatically posted to Twitter as well. So if you want to get in on that, you can come over here and follow me on Twitter at Justin_formed. And also on Twitter, you can find a way here to help me via GoFundMe, because I have a couple GoFundMes. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone. Just Informed News now is in the works. Domains have been purchased. Web designers are being consulted. Legal frameworks are being drawn up. But you guys have done everything that I asked and more. And I'm so thankful to every one of you who have helped, fund this website to now. Now, I've started a second GoFundMe because guess what? When you get to this level, you need lawyers and you need people to do legal things. So this is my next fund, and I really appreciate you guys coming and supporting me here, because if you guys come to GoFundMe.com/justinformedlegal, you'll find this page. You can come make a donation, but believe it or not, we're going to have to get a team of lawyers, not a team, it's a couple lawyers, who do different things, who can help out to get this all structured and make it right. Because guys, trust me, I'm trying to make this legit and awesome for you. So it's going to take a lot of this effort behind the scenes. Plus, I need legal consultation on what my rights really mean when it comes to YouTube censorship and what they do. I really need that consultation, and then to look into getting into other possibly joining with others, but it has to start with a good legal representation. So I'm starting that effort right now. I'm actually seeking counsel as we speak, and I'll have it soon, assuming you guys can put it together at the same rate as you did the last one. It'll really go very smoothly. So I thank you all for coming over to gofundme.com/justinformedlegal to get that, and you can also get that link off my Twitter page. It's pinned here at the top at Justin_formed on Twitter. So those are the best ways to help out financially, or that's the best way if you want to help out. That is a one-time donation. But if you want to help the channel out on a monthly basis and become one of the many, many people who are supporting this channel so that I can continue to do this 24/7, 365 for you, I encourage you to come over here to Patreon, patreon.com. And when you come here to this landing page, you'll search Just Informed Talk. When you come to this page, you will click this button to become a patron, check out my rewards and goals, and I thank you all in advance for coming here. Remember, this is the lifeblood. This is what I depend on, regardless of where ad revenue comes in from YouTube. This is what I depend on, so I can do this every month. It's a big deal, so it's a monthly donation. So if you guys want to get involved, go to patreon.com and search Just Informed Talk, or go to patreon.com/justinformedtalk, and I thank you all in advance. Now, all that out of the way, I know that's a lot, but one quick announcement. The AMP, which would be the American Priority Conference, has been postponed. So I was telling you guys that I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. this September. Well, it looks like more of next summer around May or June will be the conference. But that doesn't mean I won't be in Washington in September. I'm still going to be in Washington, D.C. in September, early September, September 8th to be specific, to be at the Mother of All rallies. And if you guys want to get more information on that, I encourage you to go look it up for yourself. But there's going to be a huge rally of like-minded individuals who want the best for their country in Washington, D.C. So if you guys want to get more information about that, go to search MOAR on Google and put MOAR Washington, D.C. You'll get all the information you need about that march. I'll have more details about that in the future, but I just wanted to let you guys know that had been postponed, and we'll look forward to that when it comes back around. But we're going to look here into the most important thing now. Every episode I end the same way, and I do it purposefully. I end by talking about God's grace. I talk about how it's greater. I talk about how it's important for us to embrace God's grace. And I talk about the ways that I hope to share God's grace with you so that you can take that into your soul and spread it out for the world, as I know we all want to do in our own hearts. Now, what I found was a great piece of scripture. And it talks about knowledge and rest, and it's actually from our Lord Jesus Christ's own words to our ears. And it's the words he's giving to Matthew and all of his disciples at the same time when he talks about the glory of God's kingdom and how when we put our faith in God, we will receive the ultimate knowledge and the rest in God's love. So I want to read this verse to you, and I just want to talk about it briefly because it just reminds me of what we all need to remind ourselves of. And I have to do it constantly because I work, if I didn't control myself, I might be working like 50 or 20 hours a day, but I have to take time off and focus on other things like my family and like God and worshiping and participating in my community. Believe it or not, I'm actually very active in my community, in my church, and other places. So I have to give myself rest, right? But I do take solace in knowing that these are the words of Jesus, and it's here out of Matthew chapter 11, verse 25 that we hear them. And it says, "At that time, Jesus said, quote, 'I praise you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and learned and revealed them to infants. Yes, Father, because this was your good pleasure. All things have been entrusted to me by my Father. No one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son desires to reveal him.'" Come to me, all of you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. All of you take up my yoke and learn from me, because I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for yourselves. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Sometimes I need to hear these words for myself, and I hope that by sharing them with you guys here, that they resonate with you too. But what this verse basically says to me is that Jesus is telling us that only God knows that perfection that is that relationship, that bond, and it's individual. And in Jesus's case, he was the Son of God, so it was a very special individual bond. But we all, in a sense, have that special individual bond with God always, because God's omnipotence and God's omniscience is that which we pray comes to us and gives us guidance and gives us wisdom and gives us power and gives us strength, because these things are what we have to ask for, because this is a tough world and we have to be soldiers of God and disciples of Jesus and spread his word as far and as wide as we can. And we have to understand the teachings of Jesus, which, kind of are antithetical to our human nature, which is, to get upset when we see people committing crimes and to get upset at evil. But even Jesus wasn't perfect. He went into the temple and turned over the tables of the money changers and the gambling that was going on there. He even had a temper, and for good reason, because when he saw evil, he knew that evil must be dealt with. And God tells us that throughout the Bible, that evil will be confronted and defeated through the goodness and grace of God. But we have to let God decide what that plan is. And we can't profess to know it, but we can do everything we can to stand up against it. And what the verse goes on to say is that when you come to Christ and you're weary and burdened, that you will not just receive the rest, but you'll receive this yoke. And if you guys don't know what a yoke is like a harness that's put on a pack animal. So yokes were kind of popular in Europe and other areas of the world. It's kind of a universal thing that you would use to, have an ox pull a cart or plow a field or something like that, right? And so it's kind of like a harness, and you're carrying a load. And what Jesus says is that my yoke is easy and my burden is light. How refreshing and honest and awesome is that? That you can get burdened with all these different things. If you want to call them yokes in life, they're cultural yokes where your friends, peer pressure you into doing things, or family yokes where you can't feel free to express your love of God openly, or friendship yokes where, whatever it is. What God is saying is that once you put that yoke of Jesus on, that harness, and you attach yourself to this greater power, you'll realize that not only is it going to make your life amazing, but it's lighter than the load you've been carrying this whole time. And it lightens your own load because you're with so many others carrying that message. So just remember that. If you don't take anything else away from this, just remember that message and that promise of God is your yoke, and you need to wear it every day as a token of what is in your heart and how you want to pull that message out to the world and give it to everyone who wants to hear it. Because trust me, this gift that we've been given by God of eternal salvation and eternal life and forgiveness and everything is not for us to keep to ourselves. It's for us to share as far and as wide as we can. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to say thank you all for watching again. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please come here, click the big red subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell for notifications. But that's going to be it for me. I want to say again, thank you all for watching another episode of Just Informed Talk. My name is Craig. Godspeed, and God bless each and every one of you, Patriots.